Here we're going to solve these two multi-step equations using the steps below. If I look at the problem here on the right, the first step is to distribute if there's parentheses, which there's not, to look at each side of the equal sign, see if there's any like terms you can combine. No. No. Now the next step is to move all the variables to one side. Notice I have this minus 8x and this negative 6x. I can either move this over here or this over here. It doesn't matter. Both ways you'll get the same answer for x. So just pick one. So if I want to move this minus 8x over to the left side, how do I do it? Don't be thrown off that there's a variable. When you want to move something to the other side, you always do the inverse operations, the opposite. So if this was just minus 8, how would I move that? I would add 8, right? So minus 8x, I'm going to add 8x to both sides. So if I add 8x on the right side, I'm going to put it underneath the term on the right side that is alike, the one I can combine with the 8x. And the same for the left side. I have to add 8x over here. I'm going to put the 8x under the minus 6x because that's the one that is alike. I'm not going to put it here underneath the 14 because I can't combine those two. So when you do it this way, now you can just add straight down. So on the left, minus 6x plus 8x is 2x. There wasn't anything to combine with the 14. And then I have my equals, and I have my 12, and then minus 8x plus 8x is 0. So that's my equation. Now I have a two-step equation, which is similar to what you've already been doing. Remember, with two-step equations, there's two things going on. With this one, I'm multiplying x by 2, and I'm adding 14. I always undo what's added or subtracted to the variable, so I'm going to undo that plus 14 by subtracting 14. And then add down. So here, nothing to combine with the 2x. Plus 14 minus 14 cancels out, and then 12 minus 14 is negative 2. Now to undo this multiplying by 2, I divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm left with 1x, and then negative 1. And that's your answer. Let's try the one over here on the left. Again, there's no parentheses. Is there any like terms I can combine? Any like terms I can combine? No. So our first step is to just move all my variables to one side. I can move this one over here, or I can move this one over here. I'm going to move the 5x. Now for this one, it's a little bit more confusing because what do? There's no plus, minus in front of it. I don't know what the opposite operation is, the inverse operation. Well, you can think 5x, if there's nothing in front of it, is that a positive or a negative 5x? It's a positive, so you can think of this as a plus 5x. Now, I can think, what's the opposite of adding? Subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 5x from this side, and I'm going to subtract 5x from this side. Again, putting it right underneath the term on that side that is a like term. So let's start adding. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x. There's nothing here, so just plus 3. And then my equals. 5x minus 5x is 0. And then here, make sure you keep that sign. That's negative or minus 2. Now we have a two-step equation. We're going to undo the multiplying by negative 3 and the plus 3. Which do we do first? I always undo what's added or subtracted to the variable before I undo the multiplying. So here I'm still left with minus 3x, but plus 3 minus 3 cancels out. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Now what do we do? Do I add 3 to both sides to undo this minus 3? This is not subtraction. That is a negative number smushed up against that x. That means it's a negative number multiplied by x. Negative 3 times x. To undo that, I'm going to divide by negative 3. Because negative 3 divided by negative 3 is x. What's negative 5 divided by negative 3? Well, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this would be 5/3.